I want to switch for a second to talk about transit a little more generally and talk about ridership. We've all four of us have talked about this in the past, that there's been an absolute decline in U.S. transit ridership since about 2014. There's been a per capita decline since about 2008. And Tory, I want to start with you on this. And can you give us a little bit of background about this, what variation there is around the country, what people are thinking about, what the causes of it? Just tell us what your thoughts are about this phenomenon we've been seeing now for quite a few years.
Sure, Bill. The New York Times has pointed out we're back to 1970s level in terms of transit ridership. Generally speaking, across the country, it's in decline. I'm glad that Houston's been able to stay about even, which is great in the current environment. There's a couple of agencies like Seattle that have done well, but generally speaking, substantial declines. There's all kinds of debate about the reasons for this. Obviously, shared rides like Uber and Lyft are a big deal. Delivery services are a big deal. They did a study in LA and found that just the booming economy previous to this led to a lot of people buying used cars that previously would have ridden transit. And so there's been a lot of things that have just sort of contributed, nickeling, just kind of chipped away at the ridership over the last 5-10 years.
And what is the thinking about? People think those trends are going to continue or not, or what's the expectation in the future?
I think the expectation is that they will continue. The next big issue is, if they do get to these autonomous taxi services, and there's a lot of debate about how soon those are coming. I've seen some very impressive demo videos lately that make me think sooner rather than later. That takes 75% of the cost out of an Uber or Lyft if it's autonomous. And at that point, I think you could see almost a tidal wave of people switching over to the autonomous taxis.